1, 2. Hari Om. Vakratunda Mahakaya Suryakoti Samaprabha Nirviganam Kuru Medevaya Sarvakayashu Sarvara Saraswati Namastubhyam Varade Kamanarupani Vidyarambam Karishyami Siddhi Bhavatu Me Sada Guru Brahma Guru Vishnu Guru Devo Maheshwara Guru Sasha Parabrahma Tasmai Shri Guruve Namah Om Trayambakam Yajamahe Sugandhi Pushti Vardhanam Urvarukamiva Vandana Mrityo Mukshaya Mamita Sarva Mangala Mangalye Shive Sarvata Sadike Sharanye Trayambake Gauri Narayani Namostute Narayani Namostute Narayani Namostute Siddhi Vinayak Bhava-Bhayadada Suramuni Vandita Shri Ganesha Suramuni Vandita Shri Ganesha Vishadhara Vinayaka 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 Vishadhara Vinayaka Vishadhara Vishadhara Vinayaka Vishadhara Vinayaka Siddhi Vinayaka Bhava-Bhayadata Siddhi Vinayaka Bhava-Bhayadata Suramuni Vandita Shri Ganesha Suramuni Vandita Shri Ganesha Suramuni Vandita Shri Ganesha Suramuni Vandita Shri Ganesha Vishadhara Vinayaka Vishadhara Vinayaka 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 Vishadhara Vinayaka 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 Siddhi Vinayaka Bhava-Bhayadata Siddhi Vinayaka Bhava-Bhayadata Suramuni Vandita Shri Ganesha Suramuni Vandita Shri Ganesha Suramuni Vandita Sai Ganesha Suramuni Vandita Sai Ganesha Vishadhara Vinayaka Vishadhara शरणं गणेश शरणं गणेश शरणं गणेश शरणं गणेश शिवनंदन गणपति गणेश गौरी गणेश उमा महेश पार्वती नंदन श्री गणेश गौरी गणेश उमा महेश पार्वती नंदन श्री गौरी गणेश उमा महेश पार्वती नंदन श्री गणेश शरणं गणेश शरणं गणेश शरणं शरणं गणेश शरणं गणेश शरणं गणेश शरणं गणेश शिवनंदन गणपति गणेश शिवनंदन गणपति गणेश शिवनंदन गणपति गणेश शिवनंदन गणपति गणेश गौरी गणेश उमा महेश पार्वती नंदन श्री गणेश गौरी गणेश उमा महेश पार्वती नंदन शरणं गणेश शरणं गणेश शरणं गणेश शरणं गणेश शिवनंदन गणपति गणेश शिवनंदन गणपति गणेश शिवनंदन गणपति गणेश शिवनंदन गणपति गणेश गौरी गणेश उमा महेश पार्वती नंदन श्री गणेश
जय जय गणपति जय गणपति जय गणेश जय गणपति जय 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 गणपति जय गणपति जय गणेश जय गणपति जय 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 गणपति जय गणपति जय गणेश जय गणपति जय जय गणपति विघ्न विनाश महारे गणपति विघ्न
ॐ गं गणपतये नमो नमः श्रीसिद्धिविनायक नमो नमः अष्टविनायक नमो नमः गणपति बाप्पा मोदिया ॐ गं गणपतये नमो नमः श्रीसिद्धिविनायक नमो नमः अष्टविनायक नमो नमः गणपति बाप्पा मोदिया
गं गणपतये नमो नमः श्री सिद्धिविनायक नमो नमः अष्टविनायक नमो नमः गणपति बाप्पा मोरिया
ॐ गं गणपतये नमो नमः श्रीसिद्धिविनायक नमो नमः अष्टविनायक नमो नमः गणपति बाप्पा मोदिया
ॐ गं गणपतये नमो नमः श्रीसिद्धिविनायक नमो नमः
अष्टविनायक नमो नमः गणपति बाप्पा मोरिया
ॐ गं गणपतये नमो नमः श्रीसिद्धिविनायक नमो नमः अष्टविनायक नमो नमः गणपति बाप्पा मोदिया
ॐ गं गणपतये नमो नमः श्रीसिद्धिविनायक नमो नमः
अष्टविनायक नमो नमः गणपति बाप्पा मोरिया
गं गणपतये नमो नमः श्रीसिद्धिविनायक नमो नमः अष्टविनायक नमो नमः गणपति बाप्पा मोदिया
गं गणपतये नमो नमः श्री सिद्धिविनायक नमो नमः अष्टविनायक नमो नमः गणपति बाप्पा मोरिया
ॐ गं गणपतये नमो नमः श्रीसिद्धिविनायक नमो नमः अष्टविनायक नमो नमः गणपति बाप्पा मोदिया
गं गणपतये नमो नमः श्री सिद्धिविनायक नमो नमः अष्टविनायक नमो नमः गणपति बाप्पा मोरिया
ॐ गं गणपतये नमो नमः श्रीसिद्धिविनायक नमो नमः अष्टविनायक नमो नमः गणपति बाप्पा मोदिया
गं
devotees and friends, we are now ready to commence for this evening. Put in the hands together, closing the physical eyes. We all pray and concentrate upon that divine master, Sri Ganesh. We all pray. Gajananam bhutaganathsevitam kapeta jambu palisar bhakshanam umasutam shoka vinashkarkam namami Vigneshwar parapankajam या देवी सर्वभूतेषु सरस्वती रूपेण संस्कृता नमस्तस्यै 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 नमो नमः ॐ गुरुर्ब्रह्मा गुरुर्विष्णु गुरुर्देवो महेश्वर गुरुर्साक्षात् परं ब्रह्मा तस्मै श्री गुरवे नमः ॐ नागेन्द्रहार त्रिलोचनाय भस्ममृगाय महेश्वराय नित्याय शुद्धाय दिगम्बराय तस्मै नकाराय नमः शिवाय ॐ अञ्जनीगर्भासन्मुखो वायुपुत्रो महाबलो कुमारो ब्रह्मचारी च हनुमान मे प्रसिद्ध ॐ भूर्भुवस्व तत्सवितुर्वरेण्यं भर्गो देवस्य धीमहि धियो यो न प्रचोदयात् ॐ सहना भवतु सहनौ भुनक्तु सह वीर्यं करवावहै तेजस्विनावधीतमस्तु मा विद्विषावहै ॐ समूकस्य एकदन्तस्य कपिलो गाजकर्णकं लम्बोदरस्य च विक्तो विघ्नाशो गणधिपतये नमः ॐ धूम्रकेतुगणायक्षो बालचन्द्रगाज्ञानः द्वादेशतनिर्मामि यत्सृणुद्यापि विद्यारम्भे विवाहे च प्रवेशे निर्गमे तथा संक्रमे संकटे च एवं विघ्नं तस्य न जायते ॐ एकदन्ताय विद्महे वक्रतुण्डाय धीमहि तन्नो दन्तिः प्रचोदयात् ॐ गं गणपति नमः ॐ गं गणपति नमः ॐ गं गणपति नमः ॐ गं गणपति नमः ॐ श्री गणेश भगवान की जय। स्वागतं श्री गणेश शरणं गतं श्री गणेश स्वागतं श्री गणेश शरणं गतं श्री गणेश Swagatam, Sri Swagatam, Sri Swagatam, Sri Ganesh. Swagatam, Sri Swagatam, Sri Swagatam. Love and forgiveness, peace and love, please come to my life. Love and forgiveness, peace and love, please come to my life. I want to hear everybody sing that. Love and forgiveness, peace and love, please come to my life. One more time. Love and forgiveness, peace and love, please come to my life. Swagatam Sri Ganesh, Charanam Gatam Ganesh.
Swagatam Sri Ganesh, Charanam Gatam Sri Ganesh.
Swagatam Sri Swagatam Sri Swagatam 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 Sri Ganesh.
Oh! Swagatam Sri Ganesh, Charanam Gatam Sri Ganesh.
Swagatam Sri Ganesh, Charanam Gatam Sri Ganesh.
Swagatam Sri Swagatam Sri Swagatam Sri Ganesh. Swagatam
Sri Swagatam Sri Ganesh.
Swagatam Sri Swagatam Sri Swagatam Sri Ganesh. Last evening we had wonderful discourse, and my dear friends, this evening I commence with a few lines from a wonderful book known as Meditation on Life, done by Swami Chinmayananda. And he says that each one of us consists of multiple personalities, and that we judge the world of things and circumstances differently according to the particular personality functioning in us at a given moment. Devotees and friends, as we move along into this world and we live the world, we'd realize that each one of us has multiple personalities. In one day, you might see about 3 or 4 different sides of you. And when we talk about personalities, that is what they just talk in the common language, that I never see that side of you yet. You ever heard somebody say that? I never see that side of you yet. And then, it usually happens when one recently get married, the marriage just take a few weeks, or let me say a month, and you were knowing one another for 5 years before, lamenting everything else. And something happened within that first month after the ceremony takes place now. And I said to them, so long I with you, and today is only today I see this side of you. My dear friends, each and every one of us will have multiple personalities. And whichever one of the personality function at a particular moment, that is how we would view the world. Children of God, this evening we are going to take a very wonderful katha from Ganesh Puran. And this katha would lead us to understand quite a number of realities of life. It will help us to understand that if I am to understand God, if I am to experience God, if I am to find God within myself, then I have to turn away my eyes from the world. I have to turn away my eyes from the world. If I want to have, my dear friends, those things which money cannot buy for me, because there's a lot of things which, we believe that money could buy, but when we realize that money cannot buy it, where will we turn? Our katha this evening commences at this point. Jai Jai Ganapati, Jai Ganapati, Jai Ganesh, Jai Ganapati, Jai Jai. Everybody. Ganesh Jai Bhagavan Sut ji bole he Saunak Mrikhu ji ne Somakant se pun कहा हे महाराज आप श्री गणेश वर का अन्या आप क्या यम तुम्हारे प्रति कहात हूँ। जय श्री गणेश जय जय भगवान, जय श्री गणेश जय जय भगवान। भीमरधा देश की घटना है, उसके राजा धनी कौन धेन्य परंते। वहाँ भीम नाम का एक प्रसिद्ध राजा रज्या करता था। उसके पति भरत पत्नी का नाम चरोहन सिनीता। उनका धम पया जीवन सखा पर्वक भ्याति हो रहा था। कींता भरे अयु होने पर भी संतान ना होने का दुख उन्हें परिते करता था। जय श्री गणेश जय जय भगवान। ऑल टुगेदर जय जय गणपति जय गणपति जय गणेश जय गणपति जय जय गणपति। everybody जय जय गणपति जय गणपति जय गणेश गणपति। गणेश भगवान की। So devotees and friends, Sut ji is speaking to Saunak Rishi, and Sut ji is telling to Saunak ji, he says, listen, we have heard in great details of that great king, Somakat. But today, we would like to hear, there was a city by the name of Virdharab. Virdharab Desh. And there, my dear friends, in a city known as Kaundhin Yapar, there lived a king by the name of Bhim. Bhim and his wife lived in that city, my dear friends, and ruling that city. It says here that Bhim, that king, followed every injunction, he followed every laws of spirituality. Although he was a king, although he would have had so many things to his disposal, devotees and friends, he never failed in his religious discipline. He never failed in his devotion to Bhagwan. Sometimes, my dear friends, because we're too busy for work, because we have a few extra dollars in we pocket and we want to go and do a few things otherwise, I'll go to the satsang another day. But here, my dear friends, it tells to us, this king, had all the righteous qualities. And so many times I ask of you, at any given point in time, do you think the same thing, said what you are thinking, and then act with what you are thinking and saying? That is something so difficult to do. We might do 2 out of the 3. But to get all 3 together, my dear friends, it takes a great amount of practice in our lives. But this king, Bhim, was able to do that. And devotees and friends, it says here, with all that Bhim had and all that he was doing, the devotion and all of that, it says, following the spiritual discipline, having the righteous thoughts, Bhim and his wife was still very much unhappy. Bhim and his wife was very much still unhappy. Why were they unhappy? My dear friends, they were unhappy because they had no children. They had no children. And Bhim, my dear friends, then decided, hey, listen, what's the use of all this money and I'm not happy? We all try to work hard and put a good bank account. And that is not wrong, my dear friends. That is good, because our Dharma tells us that there are 4 final rewards of human existence. One is that you must have some earth, you must have wealth. But most of all, my dear friends, when you have the wealth, you must be able to enjoy the wealth. But in the process of enjoying the wealth, you have to enjoy the wealth by the laws, by the principles, by the laws of nature which governs that which you are about to do. So devotees and friends, it tells to us here, Bhim was not happy. And when I tell you he was really wealthy, his wife was very pure at heart. You know, his wife, my dear friends, looked at everyone else as brother, father, son, according to their age group. So in that aspect, she was very well. And then he started now to give charity. He believed now if he give charity, he will be able to get what he wants and his happiness. I'm showing you, my dear friends, and I'm leading to you to a very deep and subtle point of devotion, which a lot of us believe that we could just evade and bypass. A lot of people use the term, Baba, I doing good things, and that will carry me to heaven. Well, Bhim, my dear friends, and this is the reason why it is mentioned in the Katha, Bhim was doing everything good. He was following the religious principles. You know, but my dear friends, he still was not happy. So he gave away his wealth. And yet still, my dear friends, he remained childless. Let us hear as the Katha continues. Jai Jai Ganapati, Jai Ganapati, Jai Ganesh, Jai Ganapati, Jai Jai, Jai Jai Ganapati. Jai Jai Bhagavan, Jai Shri Ganesh, Jai Jai Bhagavan. तब राजा ने सोच के इसके लिए कोई आप या कारण चाहिए, ऐसा निश्चयाकार उसने अपना रचिया, आपने विश्वास प्राण अमर आत्माया को सौंपा दिया और उससे कहा, जब तक मैं ना लो तुम तब तक सावधानी पूर्वका प्रजापालन और देश की सीमा की रक्षा करते रहना। जय जय श्री गणेश, जय भगवान। जय श्री गणेश, जय जय भगवान। जय जय गणपति,
जय गणपति, जय गणेश, जय गणपति, जय जय गणपति,
जय
गणपति, जय गणेश, जय गणपति, जय।
श्री गणेश भगवान की। So devotees and friends, he reflected for a while. This Raja Bhim, he reflected for a while and he came to one decision. Remember, somebody have to come and say what they learned tonight. My dear friends, he reflected and tried to understand why he's not happy. Normally, my dear friends, with our living today, our worldly living, Kaviraj, if I am not happy, I am looking to blame somebody for me not being happy. So the husband goes say the wife are doing this, so I'm not happy. The wife goes say the husband are doing this, so I'm not happy. Or my neighbor doing this. Or this one doing that, and the next one doing that. My dear friends, Raja Bhim looked and tried to understand why he was not happy. Yes, he knew that, okay, if he got a child, he will be happy. But why he was not happy? Why is he not getting this one thing that he wants to make him happy? Because that is all he wants in the world now, to make him happy, because he had everything. He had a kingdom, he had everything else. But no children. And my dear friends, he came up with one. He came up, my dear friends, with one reason. And the reason is that in his life, be it the past life, be it this present life, he has some deficiency. He came up, my dear friends, with that one reason, that he, Raja Bhim, I, the king, is responsible for I not getting what I want. And that could happen because of something I did in my past life or something which happened in this life. And my dear friends, I want to tell to you all this evening, Ramayana Katha tells us, and every one of the scriptures tell you that. Even, my dear friends, the Bible tells you that. So if you want to say, well, okay, Hinduism say that, I go run across there. The Bible say that too. The seed that you plant will be the fruit that you will have to partake of. So my dear friends, Hinduism tells to us, no one, and this is very clear words, and one day I'll bring that from the Ramayana Katha for you, where Lakshman told to Guha, the chief of the Nishad Raj, he says, no one, and the word no one, all you know what it means. No one is responsible for another person's happiness or his sadness, his pleasure and his pain. His union and his separation is all because of his own karmapal, the fruits of his own action. We like to blame. We like to blame, my dear friends. And when we can't come up with an answer, we lose our conscience. We don't even work with our conscience. We start, treating everybody with a great amount of hate and, everything else comes. But Bahim is teaching us here this evening, the great king, why am I not getting a child? So he called his ministers. He called his ministers, my dear friends. And he told one in particular, and he told him, he says, I want you to take care of this kingdom. I and my wife is now renouncing this kingdom, and we are going into the forest. My dear friends, and this is what happened. Jai Jai Ganapati, Jai Ganapati, Jai Ganesh, Jai Ganapati, Jai 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 Ganapati, Jai
Ganapati, Jai Ganesh, Jai Ganapati, Jai
Jai Jai Ganapati,
Jai Ganapati, Jai Ganesh, Jai Ganapati, Jai
Jai Sri Ganesh, Jai Jai Bhagavan. Jai Sri Ganesh, Jai Jai Bhagavan. Ama Atyane Adhesh Palanka, Bachan diya to Raja Vahansi. निश्चंता होकर बन को चला दिया, वहां राजा बन में ब्रह्मन करता हुआ। विश्वास मन मित्र जी के आश्रम में जा पहुंच, और महर्षि के प्राण माकर भेटा गया। ओ हुए विश्वामित्र जी के आश्रम में। जय श्री गणेश, जय जय श्री गणेश, जय श्री गणेश, जय जय भगवान। महर्षि ने देख कर पूछा, तुम कौन हो, यहाँ किसे प्रयोजन से आए हो। आपन पुराण परीक्षया हो। जय श्री गणेश, जय जय भगवान। जय श्री गणेश, जय जय भगवान। जय जय गणपति, जय
गणपति, जय गणेश, जय गणपति, जय जय गणपति, जय गणपति, जय गणेश, जय गणपति, जय जय गणपति, जय गणपति, जय गणेश, जय गणपति,
My dear friends, have you ever gone or going to a praise, devotion, yajna, puja, and you just use a common term, you start to feel heavy? Have that ever happened to any one of you? Well, I'm telling to you, sometimes we go into satsang and we start the satsang and you're feeling that heaviness. So, my dear friends, the Katha today is telling us something different. It says when Raja Bhim entered into the forest, and as he was walking along, it says all the birds were singing very sweetly. He says the trees, the breeze that were blowing there, my dear friends, were giving that cool, soothing blow on your skin. It touched the skin. And so Raja Bhim and his wife, they were feeling so comfortable as they keep walking deeper and deeper into the forest. And my dear friends, as they reach a little point closer into the forest, and they go through that which they have been experiencing, my dear friends, there they met the ashram of Vishwamitra. And there, my dear friends, it tells to us something. And I just go back to 2 lines of Ramcharitamanus that will tell to us what we are supposed to do. This is what Raja Bhim did. And my dear friends, his experience, he have not seen the saint just yet, but the aura, that vibration which emanates from the saint Vishwamitra, because the verse tells to us that he reached to Vishwamitra ashram. So all that nice feelings that he was getting coming, my dear friends, was as a result of being very close to a divine soul. Prem se bole Shri Ramchandra Bhagavan ki jai. Jaya Ram Sita Rama, Jaya Jaya Ram, Jaya
Shri Ram Jai Ram Jaya Jaya Ram Shri Ram Jai Ram Jaya Jaya Ram
Chale Ramchandra Bhagavan ki, of all the creatures, this is just human beings, of all the creatures, animate and inanimate, living in this world, my dear friends, whether they're living in water, whether they're living on the land, or whether they're living in the sky, my dear friends, in water, land, and in the air, whatever mati kirti gati bhuti bhalai, jab jehi jatan jana jehi pai. It says all the creatures of the world, and this, my dear friends, Raja Bhim have come to terms with. Tell to us every creature in the world, whether you're in the land, whether you're in water, whether you're in the air. Jalachar and Talachar and Nabachar and Nana. It says, whatever has ever been attained, wisdom, glory, salvation, material prosperity, or the welfare, my dear friends, anywhere and by any means whatsoever, knows that it is as a result of being in association with the holy men. So declare the Vedas and the Puranas. My dear friends, what it tells to us here is the same thing that Raja Bhim made. He come to that understanding. I am going into the forest. I'm going to pray. He had a purpose, you know. He was going to pray because he wanted one object, one thing of the world to make him happy, and that was a child. But my dear friends, he didn't do like so many of us. When we want it, we go and we treat God like He is the servant and I is the master. And we say, Prabhu, Baba, you have to give me this. If you don't give me it, it's trouble. Huh? If you don't give me it, I'm not doing your puja again. He's the servant. We is the master. So if you want to do it for me, I ain't getting you no more food. My dear friends, it tells to us here that they know that anything to be attained in this world, whether it is wisdom, glory, salvation, material prosperity, or welfare in any way, and by any means whatsoever, they know that the result of attaining is only because of the association with the holy men. There is no other means, either in this world or in the next. So declare the Vedas. So my dear friends, why you running here, there, and everywhere? Paying these people $10,000 and $12,000 to do something for you. I am not saying who, I am not saying where, I'm not saying. But my dear friends, in this world today, if you don't have dollars and cents, nobody want to do nothing for you. And we call ourselves devotees. We call ourselves, my dear friends, pundits. We call ourselves, so many different names. But if a devotee doesn't have a substantial amount of money, nothing happening. Well, I'm telling to you, my dear friends, you don't have to go nowhere. Find yourself in satsang, pratam bhakti, santana kara sangha. Make that effort and be in satsang, my dear friends. it says, find yourself in the company of the saints. Not so? Where will you find the saints? How many of you want to go on the Himalayas and sit down with all those, great saints and sages there? How much of you want to go there? You say, Baba, I'll lose my life. What is the reason why, my dear friends, Prabhu Sri Ram says, Pratam Bhakti Santana Karasanga? That the very first principle of devotion is to find yourself in satsang. Do sarirati mama katha prasanga. And the very second principle is to find to understand and have the love for the katha of Bhagavan. Each one of these scriptures, my dear friends, a lot of people like to condemn the scriptures. A lot of them get a few little siddhi. You know, Ravi? They get a little siddhi and they say, oh, your Ramayana had nothing. The God give me direct. You know how much you just have to do for God to give you that direct knowledge? Find out what Valmiki did before he get that direct knowledge. Find out what Tulsidas Ji did before he get that direct knowledge. You have people today want to eat, drink, and do everything else, run 5, 6 different women and believe they're getting vision from God. It cannot be possible. Because this is where the devotion comes. This is where, my dear friends, where you'll find the saints in the words of the scriptures. And it says anything you want. And if you want to go away with one lesson today, remember that everything that you want, whether you want knowledge, to have first class honors for your masters, or whatever, children who are in university and everything else, if you want that wisdom, the place to find it is in satsang, at the feet of the saints. You say, oh, but that you're not a saint, Well, okay, I'm not claiming to be a saint. I'm not claiming to be a saint. But I'm trying my best to be. My dear friends, close to it. I can't be a saint at this point. Still have some little material worldly holdings. But my dear friends, these words of Tulsidas, the words of Saunak Rishi, the real words of Sutji, these are the saints that we're going to follow. That is what we as Pandits and Vyas try to give to you, the company of the saints which are here recorded for us to follow. Prem Sabara Shri Ram Chandra Bhagwan Ki Jai. So my dear friends, it tells to us here, however, Binu Satasanga Viveka na hoi, Rama Kripa Binu Sulabha na soi. It says that wisdom dawn not without the association of the saints. But you can only find yourself in such association when you have the grace of God. So count yourself and count your blessing when you want to stay home and listen it on the Pandit Vishnu Live. You answer the question there for yourself that you're not blessed by Prabhu Sri Ram to be in the satsang. You have a little bit so that you could hear the satsang. But my dear friends, the vibration here is what you need. That is why satsang is such important. The first three, Pratama Bhakti Santana Karasanga, Dhusarirati Mama Katha Prasanga, Guru Padpanga Jaseva Tisari Bhakti Yaman. These three, my dear friends, you find yourself in the company of the saint. You learn about the scriptures. You learn that nothing in this world belongs to you, not as much as a pin you carry after your death. Beyond the grave, you're carrying as much as a pin. If they pin that dhoti for you, you go remain right on the cremation site. When you go, if it melt out, you go see it there. The 5 pieces of gold that they just put on the eyes, you think that is go with them? That is melt and remain right there on the cremation site. So when you learn about the scriptures, when you learn about God, that not as much as a pin goes with you. And my dear friends, when you hold on to the words of the Guru, what the Guru tells us, what is the teachings? It says, the last verse of the Sumiran. Guru Pada Panga Jaseva. Is it? No. Bandava Guru Pada Kanj Kripa Sindhu Nararupa Hari tells to you that the Guru, the spiritual teacher, is the one God have appointed to be on this earth to guide you to reach to his lotus-like feet so that you can get his reflection back into your life. Prem Sabol Shri Ram Chandra Bhagwan Ki. So my dear friends, as I tell to you, these three principles, the Guru will help you to create what? So the being with the company of the saints, knowing the scriptures about, and all you need to know in the scriptures, my dear friends, is that we are going to die. That's all the scriptures have to teach you, that you are going to die. And when you die, not as much as a pin goes with you beyond the grave. All that will go with you is the selfless, loving actions. The reward of that, or the return of that, is what is going to go with you. Or if you do the opposite, it will entangle you and bring you back right here in this entanglement of birth and death. Prem Sabol Shri Ram Chandra Bhagwan Ki. So devotees and friends, it says contact with the noble souls is the root of all happiness and blessing. It constitutes the very fruit and fulfillment of all endeavors, whereas all other practices are blossoms, as it were. Prem Sabol Shri Ram Chandra Bhagwan Ki Jai. So my dear friends, Raja Bhim knew this, and the description that they give to you of how that, that place was as he was coming closer and closer to where Vishwamitra was. Devotees and friends, it tells to us, it says the breeze was blowing like it was music. It says all the creatures and the fishes and everything, my dear friends, all was sending positive vibration. And I tell to you, when we sit in satsang, you just have to break sometimes a big barricade of negative, a negative wall sometimes. And where that negative wall come from? From devotees right within the satsang. You know how a negative thought might come? I sit down here and I see Dadoi walk through the door. And when I see he walk through the door, I ain't like him, So immediately the thoughts start flying inside of my mind. Where does boy come from? Why you should come here and upset me? That's what we say, Why he come here? Why she come here to upset me? And if we had 2-3 people like that inside the satsang hall, you know what happened? You know what happened, my dear friends? Prem Sabol Shri Ram Chandra Bhagwan Ki. So the king was asked by the sage Vishwamitra that, who are you? And why are you on this path? And my dear friends, the little discussion now takes place as we try to round up our discussion for this evening also. Jai Jai Ganapati, Jai Ganapati, Jai Ganesh, Jai Ganapati, Jai. Ganesh Jai Jai Bhagavan, Jai Sri Ganesh Jai Jai Bhagavan. Raja bole Prabhu, मैं कौंधनपुर में रहता हुआ भी भीतर भादेश पर शासन करता था। मेरा नाम भीम है, मेरी वृद्धोवस्था हो गई तो भी कोई। जय जय श्री गणेश जय भगवान। महर्षि ने कहा राजन, तुमने पूर्व जन्म में श्री गणेश्वर का निर्धर किया। जय जय श्री गणेश भगवान। उसी के पलस भरूप तुम इस जन्म में संतान ही नहीं रहती। ये जय जय गणपति, जय गणपति, जय
गणेश जय गणपति जय।
from Kaundhinyapur. I'm from that village. And so my name is Bhim. I came here with my wife so that we can pray, so that we can have children. And the Maharishi, Vishwamitra, told to him, he says, this is happening because of your last birth. This is happening because of something which you did in your last birth. But, O king, O Raja Bhim, for 8 or 9 generations back, your foreparents did Ganesh Bhagwan devotion and they benefited. They had all the glories coming down. Yes, you are not happy because you don't have a child, and this is because of your last birth. You had a child in that last birth, and something happened. That's something which happened to him and that child in the last birth. We'll hear that tomorrow evening. You're coming tomorrow? Well, we still have to say tomorrow. Time up. So, my dear friends, but before he related to him his past Janma, Purva Janma, before he related that, he told to him, he says, listen, O king, all your foreparents, all the great-grandfathers and everybody coming down the road prayed to Sri Ganesh and they had great results. If you do the same, you will be able to have a child in this life and be happy. I would have liked to start that, Parvati, because you wouldn't be here tomorrow, but that's a whole chapter by itself, running into a second chapter, and we don't want to wrong, not to do justice to the katha. Prem se bole Sri Ganesh Bhagwan ki. And so, devotees and friends, this brings me to the end of my discourse today. Not all that I prepared for you. I still have one important message from this, but we'll do that tomorrow too. Prem se bole Shri Ram Chandra Bhagwan ki. So we'll have one bhajan, Parvati, because you're coming tomorrow. Umar will be here every evening. And everybody get your coconut and stand by.
Pratama namo Girija Sutta Ganapati. Pratama namo Girija Sutta Ganapati. Pratama namo Girija Sutta Ganapati. Pratama namo Girija Sutta Ganapati.
Let's take up one chant.
प्रातः समय उपकर में जागो। प्रातः समय उपकर में जागो। सुमिरन नाम तिहारो तिहारो। प्रथम नमो गिरिजा सुत गणपति। प्रथम नमो गिरिजा सुत गणपति। एक दंत गज करन कहा है। एक दंत गज करन कहा है। कृपा सिंधु में दाता हूँ मैं। कृपा सिंधु में दाता हूँ मैं। वंदन तुझको हे परमेश्वर। पूरन काज हमारो हमारो। प्रथम नमो गिरिजा सुत गणपति। प्रथम नमो गिरिजा सुत गणपति। सब देवों में पहले पूजा। सब देवों में पहले पूजा। महादेव में आए दूजा। महादेव में आए दूजा। लंबोदर आंत में मोरक। मूषक पार पहाड़ पहाड़। प्रथम नमो गिरिजा सुत गणपति। प्रथम नमो गिरिजा सुत गणपति। जय गणेश देवा अष्टविनायक बहु सुख देवा। 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 गणेश देवा अष्टविनायक बहु सुख देवा जय गणेश देवा अष्टविनायक बहु सुख देवा अष्टविनायक बहु सुख देवा अष्टविनायक बहु सुख देवा अष्टविनायक बहु सुख देवा.
Ganesh Bhagwan ki Jai. Pandit Jai will now lead us in. Okay, Pandit Jai give us the opportunity to do Arti today. Hold the coconut in your hands now and pray. Everybody please stand. If you don't have a coconut, still pray now at this time. Whatever wish, whatever desire you have for Sri Ganesh, you make it now. Hari Om Sri Krishna Krishna Sagyai Pavitya Mamasya Vidyar Pradve Sri Vala Kalipate Saptame Vaivas Manwantar Kalipatam Charane Jambu Dvipe West Indies Kande Arvatarike Desh Antargate Trinidad Desh Namo Narayanaye Namo Namaha 56 Mapipi Road Chetre Grame Bhautavatarit Parihe Namo Narayanaye Namo Namaha Sri Gotra Namayaham your name Namayaham whatever wish you have Daihik Daivik Bhautik Tapatre Nirvamartya Devi Grahari Shimani Madhavari prayer says the same thing. If your wish is in the sky, if it is on earth, or if it is in water, let you all have it. Hari Om Ekadantaya Vidmahi Vakratundaya Dhimahi Tanno Dhanti Prachodayat. Sri Ganesha Bhagwan ki Jai. Crack your coconut, and I want to make one point clear this evening. Please, the three murtis is made out of the same clay we got from Abel. Right? It was made by the same man which we call Shankar. And I want my dear friends, please, don't believe that if you do the arti to the three of them, you will get three different blessings. It is one, you're coming, you take the coconut, you come straight to Ganesh, do the arti, and then you give back the coconut, and then move forward. Right? Prem Sabale Sri Ganesha Bhagwan ki Jai. Get your pitch. Jai Ganesh, Jai Ganesh, Jai Ganesh Deva, Mata Tero Parvati Pita Mahadeva, Mata Tero Parvati Pita Mahadeva, Jai Ganesh, Jai Ganesh, Jai Ganesh Deva, Mata Tero Parvati Pita Mahadeva, Mata Tero Parvati Pita
Mahadeva. Jai Ganesh, Jai Ganesh, Jai Ganesh Deva. Mata Tero Parvati Pita Mahadeva. Mata Tero Parvati Pita Mahadeva.
लड्डुअन का भोग लागे सटकर सेवा
भगवन का भोग लगे संत कर सेवा.
हे जय गणेश जय गणेश जय गणेश देवा
जय गणेश, जय गणेश,
जय गणेश देवा माता तेरो पार्वती पिता
महादेवा.
माता तेरो पार्वती पिता
महादेवा. जय गणेश, जय गणेश, जय गणेश देवा. माता तेरो पार्वती पिता महादेवा. माता तेरो पार्वती पिता महादेवा.
एक दंत धाय वंदे चार भुजधारे एक दंत धाय वंदे चार भुजधारे मस्तक सिंदूर सोहे मोस किए सवार
जय गणेश, जय गणेश, जय
गणेश देवा
माता तेरो पार्वती पिता महादेवा.
हे माता तेरो
पार्वती पिता महादेवा. जय गणेश, जय
सिद्धिविनायक नमो नमः अष्टविनायक नमो नमः गणपति बाबा मोरया
गणपतये नमो नमः श्री सिद्धिविनायक नमो नमः अष्टविनायक नमो नमः गणपति बाबा मोरया
गणपति नमो नमः सिद्धिविनायक नमो नमः अष्टविनायक नमो नमः गणपति बाबा मोरया
गणपतये नमो नमः श्री सिद्धिविनायक नमो नमः अष्टविनायक नमो नमः गणपति बाबा मोरया
गं गणपते नमो नमः सिद्धिविनायक नमो नमः अष्टविनायक नमो नमः गणपति बाबा मोरया ॐ गणपते नमो नमः सिद्धिविनायक नमो नमः
अष्टविनायक नमो नमः गणपति बाबा मोरया
गं गणपते नमो नमः सिद्धिविनायक नमो नमः अष्टविनायक नमो नमः गणपति बाबा मोरया
गं गणपतये नमो नमः श्री सिद्धिविनायक नमो नमः अष्टविनायक नमो नमः गणपति बाबा मोरया
गं गणपते नमो नमः सिद्धिविनायक नमो नमः अष्टविनायक नमो नमः गणपति बाबा मोरया
ॐ गणपतये नमो नमः श्री सिद्धिविनायक नमो नमः अष्टविनायक नमो नमः गणपति बाबा मोरया
गं गणपते नमो नमः
सिद्धिविनायक नमो नमः अष्टविनायक नमो नमः गणपति बाबा मोरया गं गणपतये नमो नमः श्री सिद्धिविनायक नमो नमः अष्टविनायक नमो नमः गणपति बाबा मोरया गं गणपतये नमो नमः श्री सिद्धिविनायक नमो नमः अष्टविनायक नमो नमः गणपति बाबा मोरया
गं गणपते नमो नमः सिद्धिविनायक नमो नमः अष्टविनायक नमो नमः गणपति बाबा मोरया
ॐ गणपतये नमो नमः श्री सिद्धिविनायक नमो नमः अष्टविनायक नमो नमः गणपति बाबा मोरया
गं गणपते नमो नमः सिद्धिविनायक नमो नमः अष्टविनायक नमो नमः गणपति बाबा मोरया
गं गणपतये नमो नमः श्री सिद्धिविनायक नमो नमः अष्टविनायक नमो नमः गणपति बाबा मोरया
गं गणपते नमो नमः सिद्धिविनायक नमो नमः अष्टविनायक नमो नमः Namo Namah Ganapati Baba Moria. Putting the hands together, closing the physical eyes, we all pray. Whatever wish you have to Sri Ganesh Ji, make it this evening. Ganesh Bhagwan is in his full force, willing and ready to bless each and every one of you this evening. Children of God, love and forgiveness, peace and love, please come to my life. Swagatam, Swagatam, Swagatam Sri Ganesh. And let Sri Ganesh this evening be love and forgiveness. Look at the elephant head God. He's such a loving God. And loving Ganesh this evening is asking of you, please have love and forgiveness into your heart. Peace. Feel that peace of Ganesh Ji. Feel that love of Bhagwan flowing through your heart this evening. Ganesh Bhagwan is moving and touching each and every one of you at this time. Receive his blessing. Put the hands together. Bring it close to the heart, with the tip of the fingers placing upwards. And in your mind, repeat, thank you Ganesh Baba. Thank you Ganesh Ji. O Bhagwan Ganesh, we thank you for blessing us all this day. You will remove all our obstacles. We have faith in you that you will remove those obstacles which are in our path. Speak to Ganesh Bhagwan in your mind at this time, and he will listen to your prayer. Bringing the right palm and the left palm together, you get the consciousness, the electricity within you, the electricity of Bhagwan. And with the tip of the fingers facing upwards, you are telling to Bhagwan, lift you up, O Bhagwan. Take me up, O Bhagwan. I am down here on the ground, Bhagwan. I need your help. Lift me up. If you have sickness, ask of him. Touch that part of you that the health is not well. If your mind is confused, ask of him to embrace you with his arms of compassion. If you're confused and you do not know where to go, ask of him to give you the lamp of knowledge to move forward. O Bhagwan, remove the obstacles from our path. Om Asatoma Satgamaya Tamasoma Jyotirgamaya Mrityorama Amritam Gamaya. Om Tvameva Mata Chapita Tvamevam Tvameva Bandhum Chasika Tvamevam Tvameva Vidya Dravinam Tvamevam Tvameva Sarvam Mama Deva Deva Tvameva Sarvam Mama Deva Deva Tvameva Sarvam Shanti, Shanti, Hari Om. Ganesh Bhagwan ki, Shiva Bhagwan ki, Parvati Devi Mata ki, Sanatan Dharma ki, Om Shri Guru Devata ki, Jai Jai Sitaram. All please have your seats. Arti and Prasad will come to you. As Arti and Prasad is coming to you, Rajiv will come and tell us what he learned this evening. You see Dinesh taking my mic yesterday, coming from my man too.
Sitaram, everybody. Yeah, Bob. So basically,
Everybody listen, please.
well,
You don't know who turn it will be tomorrow.
any attainment, whether it be material happiness or intuition, what I range between those two, you need to be in the company of the saints, but not limiting to knowing the scriptures and following the guidance of your guru. And whatever is happening now could be a chain reaction from the last life. So maybe you're not really living this life for now, the present, but you could probably be living this life for the next. So all you have to do is just work with what you have right now and I guess hope for the best. So that's all it is.
Thank you very much, Rajiv. And my dear friends, is not testing anyone, but is help you to remember what the mind that did not prepare this remembers. So I am now aware that feedback give to me, those are the few points that I'm sure most of you will be able to grasp hold of and move along. Very wonderful, very well. And I hope Dinesh happy. You know, Dinesh, as he was the first one last night, he felt that I target him. But no, I ain't target nobody, Dinesh. You was the one watching me straight down and I had to call you. Today, Rajiv didn't look at me, but I just decided to call at him. So my dear friends, enjoy your prasad. There are meals prepared for each and every one of you. And I will call on the president or the vice president if there is any announcement. So there isn't any, so we will join tomorrow again for devotion from 5:30, please. If you come like how you are coming and you're spacing out yourself nicely and we are getting the offerings finished, we get in a few chants by 7:30. And by 7:30, I am able to do my discourse. So you get in a full discourse, you get in your full arati and everything else. So see you all tomorrow evening. Tomorrow is the actual birthday of Sri Ganesh. So please come out and make your offerings to Sri Ganesh. Yes. The Vice President have an announcement to make. So tomorrow, please try and keep your head on the earth and don't watch up in the sky all around 9 o'clock. Tomorrow, you know, the moon was received a curse that all around, if anybody had looked at it, because of the mischief that it make. And I want to tell you, only listen to this, Daroi. The moon laughed at Sri Ganesh. And my dear friends, Sri Ganesh gave him a curse that anybody look at you, it will be very, very bad. But then, my dear friends, after a while, through all the begging and everything else, it was agreed upon that if you look at the moon on this Chaturthi, the Ganesh Utsav day, itself the birthday, That is the day that you need to do devotion and so on to get yourself out of that, because it will be inauspicious. We'll do that katha sometime within the week before the week finish. It's a wonderful katha. Sitaram.